what I'm really tired of in the horse world? Shortcuts. I'm really tired of shortcuts. I was watching Jet Eventing's, one of her videos. It was like an older video of her controversial tack videos and whatnot, and she was talking about flashes. And she doesn't really like flashes, and it brought up a good point to me, and I thought it'd be interesting to talk about, is the whole flash topic, because there's so many people that use them these days. I know people that use them, and I've never liked them because I think they're a shortcut. To me, like, they are a shortcut. And I get so sick of seeing people take shortcuts because it's easy and convenient and less work, and just like seriously, get it together. And if you don't know what a flash is, I'll insert some pictures here, but it's basically a strap that goes around the horse's mouth so that the horse can't open their mouth. And these were pretty much designed so that in dressage, I think they're mostly used for just dressage, you get docked points if your horse opens their mouth. So if you are pulling on the reins and whatnot, or the bit's very uncomfortable and the horse is opening their mouth and whatnot, you can lose points for that. And eventually, like, people started practicing with flashes and all that type of thing, so their horse couldn't open their mouth and got used to not opening their mouth, and I think they just eventually became legal in dressage. But I fucking hate them. I think they're ridiculous. And honestly, I just don't get how it can go through people's minds that, like, if you are causing your horse pain to their mouth and are causing discomfort and they're opening their mouth, why don't you try something else? Like, why would you not try a different bit? Or, like, obviously, if you're going to use a bit, try a more comfortable one, or what your horse likes better, or fix your problem. Like, fix your hands. Why is your horse opening their mouth? Because they're uncomfortable, because you're doing something to cause discomfort on the bit, which comes from your hands. So fix your hands. Like, it's just so arrogant to me how, like, people are like, oh, well, you keep opening your mouth, so I'm just going to strap your mouth shut. Like, why don't you be a big kid, figure out what your problem is, and fix it? Like, like, people always take these shortcuts so things are easier for them and they can just, like, make a quick fix, rather than actually, it's not even a quick fix. It's a quick, like, cover up, covering up the problem that's there, but you don't want to take the time to fix it because you're lazy. The same thing kind of goes with spurs for me, because I don't like spurs. A lot of people say, like, oh, well, I just use my spurs because it's easier to just give the horse a little quick poke rather than to kick them like 10 times. But honestly, I think that, like, you shouldn't have to use a pain mechanism on a horse for itty-bitty problems. I think fixing those small problems you have here and there is what makes you a better rider. If I have to kick my horse 10 freaking times, like, that builds patience in me as a rider, okay? And I can get pretty dang hard with my legs, okay? As far as I know, when I've always trained horses, a horse would rather go than me kick them 10 times. If I'm kicking my horse 10 times, like, usually it's pretty freaking hard on that 10th time. And, like, if you keep doing that over and over and over with your horse, every horse that I have trained gets the point after a while. Like, a horse is going to realize that it's more annoying and more irritating for them to have me constantly keep kicking them than to just go and do what I ask. And that's what builds patience in me as a rider. It builds tolerance for me as a rider, and it teaches something to my horse. Like, are you going to take the easier way and just do what I ask, or am I going to have to sit here and kick you until you do it? Like, I don't think kicking your horse with the side of your heel is, like, going to cause blood or, like, anything like that, but it's pretty annoying to the horse, and I can get pretty hard with my heels, so if I'm progressively getting harder with my kicks, I'm going to keep kicking them until they go. Like, it's the training process, Was the horse going to do the easy thing, do the right thing, and just go and do what I ask, or are they going to sit here and tolerate this kicking, which usually doesn't happen. Maybe if you got a hella lazy horse, but, like, people are like, oh, well, I could just give one poke with the spur. And I'm like, yeah, well, a metal little spur jabbing into their freaking rib, like, I don't care. It's just a shortcut to me. Using these pain mechanisms that were invented for pain. A lot of people don't understand that these things are designed to cause pain. That's why they were originally invented. It's a shortcut to me. The same goes for bits. Bits are kind of a shortcut to me. Like, if I can't control my horse just using the head and using pressure off of my hands and directing their head a certain way, I just need to go to stick this metal thing in their mouth and they're going to obey it because it's going to cause enough pain that they're just not going to want to fight back anymore. Like, no, actually do your freaking research. Figure out what works, how to communicate with horses, what they respond to, and use that. Not just like, oh, well, if I put this in their mouth, they're going to listen. Like, I hate when people are always like, oh, my horse can't be ridden in anything but a bit. It can't be ridden in a hackamore because it'll push right through it. Okay, which actually happened when I got to BB. I didn't buy her. But, you know, the girl told me, like, yeah, don't ride her in a hackamore. She'll probably just push through it. Honestly, I ride BB in a hackamore 24/7 now. But if your horse is pushing straight through a hackamore, you need some work to do with your horse. Like, that's not just, like, an excuse to use a shortcut and to use something more painful because your horse won't listen. You teach your horse to listen. You teach your horse discipline. If you're going to push right through a hackamore, fine, we'll keep running. Keep running until you're tired, and then you'll learn that the pressure on your nose means stop. That's like, oh my God, what a concept. Like, pressure and release. Like, teach the horse that the right way is the easy way. Don't just use a shortcut and be like, just cause pain. He'll do it or he'll suffer, basically. And like, God, is it so hard? Like, is it so hard for people to learn to do things correctly? I mean, gosh, like, I feel like these horses that have gone through this stuff their whole life with the bits and spurs and flashes and, like, all the abuse that goes into, like, the show world. I'm not just saying that only show people do this, but, like, and some show people don't, with mad respects for them. But, like, these horses that have just been beaten down with this stuff all the time, I feel like I've ridden so many of them like that, you know? That it's like the horse is just a robot and it just goes and it just does the pattern, like. And I feel like riding those horses isn't that fun because they don't have any personality anymore. Like, that was kind of on a different tangent. I guess I didn't really relate that much, but you guys know what I mean? Like, is it not so irritating? Especially as a trainer, when I go through all this work to work with horses that I'm trying to teach and do this stuff with and teach the correct way. And then, like, I see people complaining about their horse for, like, one thing when they're taking all of these shortcuts with their horse. I'm like, you don't even know how to actually work with your horse. You just use shortcuts to cover up problems that are there that you don't want to fix. Like, send your horse to a trainer. Ask. Look, do your research. Like, oh my God. Rocket science, I know. But seriously. I had to rant about that. Is it getting dark in here? I feel like it's really dark in here, but yeah, I'm going to end that off there. And hope you guys enjoyed seeing me rant. Leave any video requests down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.